What's good, people? Thank you for choosing Total Payout Podcast, chilling with your host, Trouble. Today's date, June 2nd, 2026. Got two great games on deck today. Let's go ahead and get to them, man. In baseball, we got the San Francisco Giants versus the Milwaukee Brewers, and we got the Athletics versus the Chicago Cubs. Let's go ahead and handicap this first game, the Giants versus the Brewers. We got the Giants coming in 23-37. We got the Brewers coming in at 36-21. Head-to-head last 10, San Francisco is 6-4 straight up last 10, and the total is 5-4-1 on the over/under last 10. Now, San Francisco, like I said, coming in 23-37. Rolling out Trevor McDonald. He's 2-2 with a 4.34 ERA. He has 27 Ks and 29 innings with a 1.07 WHIP. Now, Milwaukee Brewers are coming out 36-21, rolling out Kyle Harrison, 6-1, 1.57 ERA, 61 Ks, 51 innings with a 1.03 WHIP. Now, Milwaukee is 1-0 on the season series yesterday, beating San Francisco. Now, San Francisco on the over is 11-4 last 15. Their over is 4-1 last 5 away from home. They're over 4-2 last 6 versus the NL Central. And then San Francisco 29, 26-5 over under for the season. Now, Milwaukee is over 12-6 on Tuesdays, over 9-10 at home versus the National League, 26-30-1 over under for the season. Now, obviously, game one, Milwaukee put a thumping on San Francisco. They won 16-2, put a beat down, went way over the total. Looking at the kind of the specs on this game, I have the humidity pretty much rising 15% throughout the duration of the game. So once the game starts, I think it's like 36%. And maybe 36 to 46, one or the other. And I think it rises to like either 51 to 61%. Didn't get a hold of that 100%. But I know it raises about 15% throughout the duration of the game. So we might see balls flying out, later on into the game, if not at the beginning of the game. Now, I do want to take note. Obviously, Kyle Harrison is thumping right now. 5-0 his last 5, not giving up anything. But Kyle Harrison is a San Francisco product, a draft of the Giants in 2020. So this would be a get-back game for him. Obviously, he's faced San Francisco plenty of times since they let him go. They did not believe in him because he's not there 6 years into a baseball player's career. They usually don't even hit the majors till about maybe 3-4 years in. He's out of the whole system in 6. So obviously they gave up on him. He's reached his pinnacle at this point right now with Milwaukee. Is it Milwaukee's farm system? We know Milwaukee can make mediocre players great in the pitching. I've seen it. And on the bats. But Milwaukee is a great farm system as far as getting pitchers off the market who's underachieved and making them overachieve. They also do get a lot of run support, so their records do tend to be a little inflated due to the fact that Milwaukee is usually a great hitting team. So you will see pitchers going to the Brewers stable, and their win-loss record look great. But Kyle Harrison is at his pinnacle. He is pitching lights out right now, but we have to also understand that this is the team who groomed him as well. So I don't expect San Francisco to have another game where they get beat 16-2, but who knows? It's baseball. But what I'm going to take is the over 7.5. Vegas opened up at 7.5. I'm going to take that over 7.5. I do think that San Francisco kind of course corrects a little bit as far as the bats and put up a couple more runs. But I also expect Milwaukee to go ahead and constantly keep that bat moving. We just need 4-4 over the 7.5. I expect San Francisco putting up 2 yesterday. It's going to be tough against Kyle Harrison. I understand he's pitching lights out right now, but I expect San Francisco to get a couple off him and in that bullpen. As always, great Milwaukee, but they're prone to give up 1 or 2 runs. So if we can get maybe 3 out of San Francisco, and then Milwaukee go ahead and bash them again, at least give 5. We don't expect them to score 16, but give us a 5-3. We'll take 4-4, and then anything after that is over 4-4. But like I said, anything after that, we'll take it. I think it's coming out at like plus 105. So I do expect it to probably hit a 7 before game start. If it's at plus 105, I mean, they're hammering it under 7. Everybody's expecting Kyle Harrison to go out there and shut down this Giants lineup, and he very well may be. But like we seen yesterday, Brewers went over by themselves, so it can happen. So we're going to take that over 7 and a hook at the plus 105, and then if it hits the 7, we're going to take that over as well. I expect it to probably be teetering to the over, minus 120, minus 115, something like that. If it's at minus 125 on the under 7 and a hook, I expect it to probably, if it gets to 7, to probably show us a 125 to 115 on the over, and then people hammer that. I don't know if they hammer the under, but I expect it to go over, hit an 8. Now, the second game, like I said, we have on deck is going to be the Athletics versus Chicago Cubs. We got the Athletics coming in at 28-31. We got the Cubs coming in at 32-28. Head-to-head last 10, Cubs have been dominating this series 8-2 straight up last 10. The overs also 8-2 last 10. Now the Athletics, like I say, 28-31, pushing out Gage Jump, 0-1 for the season, 7.20 ERA, 5 Ks, 5 innings with a 2 whip. So obviously only pitched one game, first career start against Seattle. So this is going to be a second career start on the road against the Cubs in Wrigley Field. So will it be nostalgia to get to him? Who knows? Let's go ahead and handicap this, and see what we come up with. Now we got the Cubs, like I said, coming in 32-28. We got Jameson Taillon, 2-4 for the season with a 5.37 ERA, 51 Ks, 60 innings, 1.28 WHIP. This is the first meeting of the season between these two teams, so we do want to keep that in mind as well. Now, like I said, head-to-head, Chicago 8-2 straight up, over 8-2. Athletics, their over is 5-1 last 6. Athletics are 4-2 over away from home in Chicago, their last 6. The Athletics are 29, 26, and 2 over under for the season. But we're going against the grain because they're 11, 19, and 1 away from home this season. So we're going against the grain on this one. Now Chicago is over 4-2 last 6, over 6-1 last 7 against the Athletics, 33, 26, and 1 over under for the season, and they're 15 and 14 over under at home this season. Now, the wind, I know it's coming inward. Like I said, we're going against the grain on this one. 47% humidity with a 66-degree sunny weather in Chicago. So it's going to be a great day. Great degrees, 66. Nice wind, nice breezy. Hometown for me. So I know 66 is kind of, breezy, nice sunny. Not necessarily, a 90-degree West Coast weather. A hot day in Chicago is at 80 degrees. So 66, wind blowing in is going to be a nice day. Now, like I said, this is Jump's second start. He had 9 hits, 4 earned runs in his first start against the Mariners. Now, Taillon, he's been giving it up, man. 16 earned runs his last 14 innings, so he's prone to give up some runs. Like I said, if I haven't tipped my hat, I'm going to take the over. Vegas opened up 7 in the hook, -110. I'm going to go ahead and take that over 7 in the hook. I do think the Athletics can get to Taillon. Their bats have awoken this season. They have a better record than they usually have at the beginning of a season. I do expect that to course correct eventually, but coming out 28-31 first 59 games for the Athletics the last few years is a decent record for them. 3 games under 500. That's a decent record. Cubs been teetering. They've been downfall. They've been rolling downhill. They were leading the NL Central a lot. Milwaukee has caught them and jumped them. They have basically back tumbled towards Pittsburgh, and St. Louis. In Cincinnati, I don't expect the Cubs to finish down there, but right now they need to find their bats. And why not find it against Athletics? Why not jump, pun intended, over a rookie making his second start? We have a bunch of veterans in the Cubs lineup, so I expect the Cubs to try to get on this young dude right away, just like Seattle did. He gave up 4 earned runs in 5 innings. I do expect the Cubs to try to get him out early. We know the Cubs are, like I say, struggling. Starting lineup struggling. The bullpen struggling. The bats are struggling. So the Cubs have a great matchups coming up their next 3-4 series. Some bottom feeders, the Rockies, the Athletics. I think they double up on them. So I expect the Cubs to try to get out ahead and try to catch Milwaukee with these series they have coming up, and try to win a lot of these games. And they have to start by jumping on these type of matchups where they got young rookies coming out there making their first start. So like I said, I expect the Cubs to come out there, try to get them out quick, at least try to match what Seattle did, and if not better. And then I do expect Athletics to get some runs out Taillon. It is the wind is coming in by 9%. 9 miles per hour, but I do expect some hits to get out. I do expect some open holes to get hit. No pun intended on that. I do expect that. The ball to find open holes. I expect that. Pause. But I expect both lineups to get off today on these pitchers. So with that said, let's go ahead and recap what we got today. We got the Giants in Milwaukee. Like I said, we're taking that over 7.5. We can get that at +105. I think that's a good bet at plus money. If we can catch it at 7, even better. The hook is always dangerous in baseball. If you can get that 7, even better. But I'll take that 7.5 at plus money. I think that is a good bet. Sit back and watch that. And then we got the Cubs and the Athletics in Chicago, Wrigley Field. We got the over 7.5 as well. So we taking both National League Central games over 7.5. I expect them both National League Central teams to jump over both of these teams, road teams. Both of them are not that great on the road. I expect both teams to try to get back at home and try to, get these series off great. Like I said, so with that being said, I appreciate you guys tuning in with your host Trouble, Total Payout Podcast. Please give me a like, comment, and subscribe at the end of this video. I greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. And like I say, man, it's baseball time. It's time to go ahead and buckle down and try to get the correctness. You got a lot of teams who came out not coming out on par, and you got a lot of teams who came out the gate busting, who usually come out the gate slow. So we're gonna try to look at the boards every day and try to see if we can get back and see if we can get some money. I appreciate you guys giving me a couple minutes out your day. Like I always say, man, it's 24 hours in a day. You guys giving me a couple minutes is greatly appreciated. And like I always say, once again, please stay out the way. Just trying to see another day. Thank you. Hey,